Welcome back to another episode of Magic's in the Mess, the go-to podcast for ambitious women ready to stop pretending, start aligning, and finally build success your way. I'm your host, Danielle McKinley, speaker, business and wealth strategist, and your go-to problem-solving hype girl. Here, we'll help you unlock powerful mindset shifts, discover your magic, and bring your dream life into reality. Each week, I'll deliver raw stories, proven business strategies, and powerful transformations with industry leaders to activate the magic in you. So if you're ready to ditch the pressure, the performative BS, and the noise telling you who you should be, hit subscribe and let's make some magic. Today, I want to talk about money, honey, but not in the way that you've probably heard before. We're not going to talk about strategy. We're not going to just talk numbers. We're not going to say things like, do this and you'll make more. Because here's the truth. You can have the best strategy in the world, the best financial planner, all of the best systems in place, and you can still feel stressed, restricted, or disconnected from your money. And why do you ask? Because if your relationship with money feels off, then no strategy is going to fix that. And some of us are walking around completely unconscious of what our relationship with money is. And I've seen this over and over again in clients, in conversations, and even in majority of my own life. I was completely unaware of my money story and of my relationship to the feeling of money. So if money doesn't feel good to you, it won't matter how much you make. Nothing's going to override that. You're still going to have that same feeling. So for me, the biggest shift wasn't learning how to make more money, how to scale my money, how to build more wealth. I already knew how to make money. I was good at making money. It was more so learning how to trust myself with all of the different aspects of money. Trust that not only can I make it and keep it and scale it, but I can feel really good about having it, about spending it, about sharing it, about buying the things, because a lot of us were taught something very different. For many of us, we observed that money should feel stressful and that spending should feel tight, or that savings means that somehow you have to sacrifice something else in order to save. And that earning means it has to come with more pressure, more hustle, more grind. Like you have to be really putting in the work in order to be worthy of money. And what happens is we create this dynamic where money coming in feels good, but money going out feels heavy. And that imbalance, it dysregulates your entire relationship with money. And you may feel really good on the money coming inside, and you may feel the things that I described about like stress or it feeling tight or feeling like you have to sacrifice when it's leaving, or you may feel bad for spending, like bad for getting the thing that's been on your vision board because it's a large chunk of change. And either way, that's an imbalance that we want to figure out how to regulate so that all parts of money, whether it's coming or going, because money is a frequency. Money is fluid. Money is going to come and go. So why not feel good in both routes? And if you want to feel regulated around money, not anxious, not reactive, then it has to feel good both ways, right? And that's the part that nobody talks about. We celebrate receiving it. We celebrate making it. We celebrate the promotions. We celebrate the exits. We celebrate the high cash months. We celebrate the biggest month that you've ever had. But then what do? We judge the spending, or we judge how we're assigning those dollars a job, or if we're wasting them. And yet spending is half of the cycle. It's 50% of the movement and the fluidity of money. And money is meant to move. So if every time money leaves your account, you feel tension or guilt or restriction, your body starts associating money with stress, and you're literally encoding it to feel that way subconsciously. And if you're not aware of it, it's just like something you deal with. That's just part of your programming, right? Even if you have plenty of it. And this is where I want to challenge a belief that I hear all the time, which is you can't buy more time. I don't subscribe to that. I don't believe that that is true, because you can create more time for yourself. You can't create more hours in the day, of course, right? But you can buy yourself more time. You can create more time in your life. And you can do this by things like hiring a house manager. You can build an operations team. You can hire a cleaner. You can hire a chef. You can hire a travel agent. You can hire a driver. You can delegate things that are not in your zone of genius to buy back your time so you can live in your zone of genius. And what does that give you? It gives you time, energy, space, capacity, and it's not wasteful spending, it's truly strategic living. So instead of asking, how much does that cost? I want you to reframe it and start asking, what does that give me back? Okay. Now, another thing that I want to talk about is the word budget and how I want you to remove it from your vocabulary because this is why I don't like the word budget because budget feels restrictive. It feels like you're cutting back. It feels like limitation. It feels like sacrificing, right? And so instead, I want you to think of it as I'm assigning my dollars the best freaking jobs to do the most for me because every dollar you spend is doing something, whether you're being strategic with that assignment or not. It's either buying back your time, creating an expense, supporting your growth, maintaining your life, creating an experience, bringing you joy, and so on, right? So let's make it really intentional. And I want you to have fun with what you're calling your quote unquote expenses. So instead of a car payment, what is that? It's your ability to cruise through the day with ease and in a comfy vehicle that you enjoy, right? Groceries, body nourishment, right? What if we flipped instead of calling it childcare, it's creating a space for me to build, grow, and breathe, right? Or business expenses is investing in systems that scale my life and buy back my time. So you get the point. You can get creative with how you are tracking the things that are quote unquote expenses or the fluid part of money leaving and coming into you and your business and have fun with the words that you're using because words have energy to them as well. Like one of my favorite things to do is to make my passwords things that I'm manifesting and I will purposely not hit save password. One, because I used to work in cybersecurity, but two, because it makes me type it out and think through what it is. And it makes it fun to update your passwords because you can literally just call in and be in that frequency of the thing that you're manifesting. So when you shift the language, you shift the energy, right? And so I want to give you an example of something that just happened to me because recently, I think this episode is going to air like a week or two after this, but this event that I'm about to share with you, which is something I am so excited about. And I am not afraid to celebrate it and shout it from the rooftops because that is something I subscribe to. Don't dilute your wins because you think it's going to make somebody feel bad. You sharing your wins is you telling people what is freaking possible. And I closed on my sixth property and it was a commercial building in the downtown Queen Creek area. And it was the most fun closing that I've ever had in my existence. And I really reflected and sat with and felt so much gratitude for the work that I've done around my relationship with money because I look back at other closings for properties prior and it just didn't feel the same. It didn't feel like this was light and airy and fun. And I was excited. And I did the whole like, I'm so grateful for you dollars for giving me my sixth investment property and one that I can like hold on to and we're going to create cool shit with. And there was no like nerves or anxiety. It was truly the essence of gratitude. And that's because I've spent so much time working on my relationship with money so that I can help you do the same. And it is my most favorite thing to do because my favorite way to coach and to be coached is to work with people who have had lived experience. And I will just never forget the difference in the closing of this property versus, we've done flips in the past. This is our sixth like buy and hold. And I I've never felt that good. I've never felt that safe. I've never felt that happy, that much gratitude for the exchange and the flow of money. And at the end of the day, this all comes back to one thing, our thoughts. Because how you think about money shapes how you experience money, and how you experience money shapes how you use it. Right? It's simple, not easy. and how you use it shapes your results. So here's what I know: if you can master your mind, you can master anything. When I look back at the things that I've accomplished in my life thus far, and the formula that I know I will continue to use to accomplish where I am going, it's three key things. It's deciding that the thing that I want is for me. It's believing that it's possible, even if I don't have proof, even if my friends and family and whoever haters online are doubting me, being able to quiet that noise and know that like my belief in myself is enough, that I don't need anyone else if I have me, and being willing to take daily consistent action. Master my mind, coupled with those three things, literally anything you want can be done. Because here, the truth is, like, we can't control everything, but we can control how we think, how we respond, and how we choose to see things. So, if you start playing with this, what would it feel like for money to feel good coming in, for money to feel good going out, for you to enjoy the things that you've worked so hard for? The ideal car, the dream trip, live in the dream house, hire the dream help and support team, and let it feel good in your body. Play with that and see how it would feel, and like really sit with those questions. Even hit pause on this if you're on your walk, perfect. If you're driving and cruising in the car, like hit pause and really ask yourself, what would it feel like to feel good about money coming in and good about money going out? Imagine yourself driving the dream car. Imagine yourself making the experience and the memories and creating all of that on the dream trip, or your family time in your dream house, and anchor into that, because it can happen if you're willing to decide, believe, and take action. And here's what can really help with the mastering of the mind piece. When judgment creeps in, because listen, it will, it always does. It never goes away. No matter how good you get at this shit, it will always be there. And if somebody tells you that it won't, they're lying. But here's what happens: you get really good at quieting the noise and having the tools and resources to go, like, oh, that's cute. But we don't feel like that anymore, right? Literally talking to your inner voice and not shutting down. You're getting curious. And so some ways that you can start to build this for yourself is you can ask, like, what does this feel like? Why does this feel uncomfortable? Get curious about the feeling or the sensation you have when you're spending the thing or buying the thing that you've wanted, and you start to freak out about it and be like, oh my gosh, should I do this, or panic or feel bad about it? And ask yourself things like, of course, why does this feel uncomfortable? Another good one is, what does this mean to me? Right? What does this mean to me? Because that right there, that's your story. And if you haven't uncovered your money story yet, that's where the real work begins. So if you're not sure what your money story is, I want you to come find me on Instagram, because you can find me on at Life by Danielle. And I want you to follow along and be friends and slide into my DMs, because your girl's love language, if I haven't shared this with you, is words of affirmation. So when things land on this podcast and you send me the text or the note or the DM about what landed for you or what you loved, it literally makes my day. Okay. So get at your girl, come talk to me. It's really me in the DMs. I don't use any bots. I love connecting with each and every one of you. So I want you to come find me on Instagram, because I'm about to launch my money archetype quiz that will help you understand exactly how you relate to money and what your core beliefs are, what your typical responders are, what your typical triggers are, and more importantly, how to rewire it in what needs to shift so that you can feel aligned, regulated, and totally confident with money, honey. Because money isn't just math. It is emotional, it's energetic, it's behavioral, it's learned too. There's things that were imprinted upon us that we may not even be aware of. But once we are conscious of them, then we can shift them into the path of the frequency of money that feels good, both coming and going. And when you learn how to work with it, not against it, that's when everything changes. So I will see you over there, my friend and fellow magic maker. And I'll see you in the next episode of Magics in the Mess. Thanks for spending your time with me today.